After a night of rain and thunderstorms, I've gone back and forth in my mind quite a bit if I should ride today or should I throw the bike on the trailer. Of course, this section here is nice, it's paved, and in about 15 miles it's going to end, and I'm going to have 200 and some miles of dirt, and we're going up into that pass at some point, up and over. But it's beautiful today. All right, camera, turn on. There we go. So it's beautiful today with the clouds hanging and all that. So I'm going to try it. If the pavement ends and it's really, really slick, I can always throw the bike on the trailer if I have to. Don't want to, but the last thing I want to do is re-injure myself, because I'm at 6 weeks exactly. Even though I'm probably mostly healed, I'm sure it's more susceptible to breaking again or fracturing, and that's the last thing I want to do is get re-injured. I'm just starting to feel healthy, and if you go down on this big bike, you could definitely do that pretty easily. And when I say paved, you know, it's not exactly like you might think. Pavement has its obstacles like potholes and just all this uneven pavement that they have here. So what I've learned is that they actually use this road more in the winter because it's easier, and the truckers are more active in the winter because they flood the roads with ice on purpose so they can, and there are certain wells they can get to that they can't get to in the summer. So there's actually not as much work right now for the truckers as there are in the winter, which I found was pretty fascinating. So yeah, we're on our way to Prudhoe Bay and the Arctic Ocean. And the ocean, what I'm hearing is the ocean's starting to break up now. So the ice is starting to break up. Don't know if we'll be able to swim. I don't know how broken it up it is, but it's going to be a high about 40 degrees there, where we stayed last night was 75. So as soon as we go over this mountain range here that you're seeing, really, really beautiful mountain range, as soon as we go over that, the temperature's going to drop. Right now it's 59, and the rain has a lot to do with that. But I'm going to enjoy this pavement, even though it is broken up, while I got it. And we'll just see what happens. I'll check in with you guys a little later. here we are, just about to go through Atigun Pass in the Brooks Range, and it's just pretty stunning 360 scenery here. Temperature's dropping quickly. It's about 54 degrees now. It's going to drop all the way down to 40 or low 40s, so it's going to get colder. But I think we're done with the rain, hopefully, and onward into some spectacular scenery. Okay. Now we're into some heavy-duty scenery here. This is Atigun Pass in the Brooks Range, and it is spectacular. Wow. Just wow. Thankfully the road is better today, a little bit higher quality than yesterday. Yesterday was really rough. This is better. And only 180 short miles of dirt road to go. Trying to turn these cameras on and off with these gloves. I went to the large gloves because it's getting colder. These are the heavy duty gloves. Wow. This might be one of the best motorcycle rides of my life. It's definitely the most challenging, for sure. I've never done this much dirt or gravel in my life on a road, on a big bike. And when I woke up this morning, I just didn't know how this was going to go, or if it was going to go, if I was going to put the bike on the trailer, but nope. I'm rolling all the way to the ocean. I would ride this thing right up to the foot of the ocean if I could. They don't let you do that. thicker than snot stuff, like right here going downhill. Not a biker's friend. Just gotta take it super slow. Well, coming down off Atigun Pass, starting to level out. The road's still pretty rough and gravelly, dirt kind of mixture. And there's the pipeline making its presence felt. We had better views today due to the rain, kind of washed some of that smoke out of the air, which was actually nice. And it's hard on the sinuses riding all the way up from Fairbanks to Coldfoot. So I felt pretty crappy when I got to Coldfoot. But today's a little different deal since we started out with rain. It should be clear all the way to the ocean, Prudhoe Bay from here. So they don't let you just walk up to the ocean. You have to book a tour, which we have tomorrow morning, and then they drive you to the ocean, and you can jump in or you can do whatever you want. It could be frozen. They said it's just starting to break up, so we'll see what it's going to be like. I want to get out on there on a piece of ice if it's still frozen like that. I just want to get out there in some level, but I guess we'll find out. But my guess is probably not going to be able to swim or jump in or whatever because there's too much ice still, which I didn't even factor in. But we'll get some cool shots out on the ice regardless if it is still ice. That might be kind of a cool, picturesque scene. Ice with some blue water. You have to be careful of polar bears, is what they say, and brown bears. So far haven't seen anything on this lake today as far as animals, but I'm told there's caribou, are rampant, but none yet. So we'll see if we see any. Check in a little later. We got about 160 miles to go, just like this on this kind of a road. I think the last 30 miles are paved. So once you hit pavement, you know you're home free.
Well, we're about 130 miles from Prudhoe Bay in the Arctic Ocean and our ultimate goal. It's beautiful here, beautiful stream. Just really open landscape. Nice little creek running by. And we got some construction coming up. I think it's where the road had washed out previously. But the surface went from really, really gravelly to a little bit more just dirt, straight dirt. And I know around 40-50 miles to go, it's all pavement. So not too much dirt left to get our goal, and then tomorrow morning we go on the tour to gets us to the ocean. All right, here we go.
All right, well, here it is. The famous sign, Deadhorse, end of the Dalton Highway, the northernmost drivable road in the world. And it's cold. It's 39 degrees, super windy, super cold. And definitely ready for some a nice warm bed and some food. But we made it. This is the end of the road. This was the goal, to get here. We got here, and it's exciting. Really exciting. Even though I'm freezing. Tomorrow we're doing the tour. We're going to the Arctic Ocean. They take you on a little tour, and we'll see what happens there. Talk to you then.